Oh. Hi. Hey, everybody. Good morning. What is it? For some reason, I'm not seeing any chat or anything, honey. I just got started. Maybe we'll have some more in here in a minute. Hi. Hi, Joy. How are you? It is Joy, isn't it? Good, because I'm bad with names, hun. I am bad with names. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear? Okay. Yesterday, I think I was yelling. I seemed to be when I replayed it. So I'm going to try not to talk that loud today. I've got an awesome speaker on this phone, so I really don't need to. But I've got this cold, and I can't hear myself as well as normal. So I've just about got my little journal done. I worked on it a little bit more yesterday, and I'm putting a few stickers in it this morning, and I'm going to ink it up, and it's going to be ready to go. So I thought we could just chat. Hi, Carrie Ann. How are you? Thank you for joining us. I really enjoyed yesterday, and I really got tickled when I was watching it back, and I was watching Annabelle's antics behind me, saying, I'll be right back. and those kind of things. She was a little doll, and she'll probably be here before very long because I'll have her again today. But I don't know. I may not because it's supposed to rain really bad today, so her dad may not have any work. She is a doll. She is a doll, and she really got into it. She came over last night, and she always goes home. They live next door to me, and I live on a farm. So my son built a house across the field. I give him 3 acres to build on, me and his daddy, and he built a new house, and of course raised his kids out here. And but before he did that, we helped him buy a trailer for him and his wife to live in, and they had it set next door. So he used it. He's used it for a rental and done a dozen things. And him and his first wife got a divorce, and they decided they would give it to their daughter, Lori, which is Annabelle's mama. And oh, I've had a horrible sinus infection. But anyway, they give it to her, and I'm telling you, I just wouldn't have anybody else in it now to save my soul. And of course, I have the kids a lot. But I don't know what I'd do without them. They make me happy. And so I sat here this morning and rounded all the edges on my pages and cleaned them up a little bit. Added a few stickers. And uh-oh. What'd you press? Oh, good. Because I may lose you because it's fixing to storm here. And so I thought I'd better get on if I'm going to get on, because I don't know what kind of front is moving in. It could be a really bad one. So it's a little bit cool this morning. It got warm yesterday. It was up 73 and was really nice outside. I went outside a couple of times with my son and walked around the yard and walked out there barefooted. I tell you, it felt good to be grounded to the earth again. I hate shoes. Good. It's going to storm there too, Carrie Ann. Where are you, honey? I know you. Uh-oh. Your laptop's been sick for years. I can understand that. In Alabama? Yeah. I thought it was down south somewhere, but I wasn't sure. I'm in Missouri. And we get it. If it comes in, you know, it'll come up from Alabama and up on us, and Texas up on us, and we get almost every storm that y'all get. It's just sometimes it goes a little farther south of us, but you know, it'll come right through the Midwest when it comes in. Sometimes it plays out along the way, but well, we can have some wicked ones. In Pilot Knob? I haven't ever heard of Pilot Knob. I've heard of Shell Knob. I'm near Springfield. And oh, okay. In Iron Country. That's probably up north, northern Missouri. Or maybe down, it could be down in the Boot Hill too, I don't know. I know they've got some black ore down, you know, down there, but Arcadia Valley. I'll have to look that up because I have never heard of that. I've never heard of that. But I grew up just 7 miles from here, so I haven't, there's a lot of places in Missouri that I haven't seen. Believe it or not. Ah, yeah, okay. That's farther north and east of us. You're up around, going almost to the Iowa border there, aren't you? It's getting close anyway. That's getting close. I thought I would just sit here today, and I'm not even going to turn the camera down. I'm going to sit here and ink up every one of these pages with a little bit of teal ink. I mean, I can turn it down and show you that I'm going to do it, but I just thought maybe we'd chat a little bit while I was inking things up. And like I said, I just put this together and thought, oh, I'll just put it up, and maybe one of these days I'll give it to one of the kids or something. And, you know, and really didn't plan on, after a while, really didn't plan on giving it to her. And Carrie Ann, were you in here yesterday, honey? Okay. Okay, so you know I'm working on Melissa Bishop's 70 Acre Farm, her journal. But we have some pretty country here. I'll tell you, we do. But it gets muggy. It gets hot. It gets cold. You know, we're in the middle of things here. We really don't get a lot of snow anymore. We get a little bit, but not like we used to. I can remember as a kid having snow really deep. And now we have a snow. It might last a day or two, but it doesn't come on and stay on like it did. When we first moved out here, I told a story about having pigs down in the barn yesterday, and me being out from the city. Knew nothing about them. But anyway, when we had the pigs down at the barn, not only did our well go out, we had just moved out here, not only did our well go out, and while they were drilling us a new well, it snowed knee-deep to a tall Indian. And, I mean, it was deep. It was up. You could see the very last wire on the fence, and that was it. And our barn is quite a ways from the house. And we of course, had to go down and feed the hogs. And we had to sled the feed down there. That's how deep it was. And since then, we've not had any kind of a snow like that. And that's been years ago. Years ago. And Herb's crew got stuck out here. He was a contractor. And I had 6 men out here hung up. And I had 2 of Herb's cousins living with me. So there was 6 men, 3 of us women, and 3 or 4 kids. And I'll tell you what, we didn't get out for a week. We didn't get out for a week. We ate every single piece of food I had in this house. I mean, it was, and we only had an outhouse. So now that was fun. You can imagine. There's my boy this morning. Hi, Ray. Tom, you want to get in the camera and say hi? Say good morning? Bend down here and say good morning to everybody. Get down here so they can see you. This is my son, Tom. He just woke up, as you can see. I love you, buddy. You better be careful going up and down them steps and you that tired. So, Carrie Ann said, hi, Tom. And Ray said hi.
Ray said hi.
Uh-huh. And Joyce said hi. Hi. Can you say hi back to him?
Hi.
Hey, that's unusual. That is unusual for him to even talk. I'll show you what I'm doing, girls. I don't know if you can see this. I've got some teal ink. And so I'm just inking around the pages with it. Just giving them a little color. And I rounded all the corners this morning, which I've never done before. Which I don't know that I like it even. And last night I put in some little animals and things that I've seen on my farm, I'll tell you for sure. I decoupaged all those napkins in it. Let's see what else I've got in here. I put in some butterflies and let's see, there's another one of those birds. There's the ones we decoupaged. And a few stickers. And there's another one of the birds. And another one. I tried to put at least one in each. I had 4 of them, so I put 2 in the middle one and a little playing card. There's one of the butterflies I put in. We get, if you like to cut up magazines, girls, we get, and it's a free one for Missouri residents, but I can get you one. Little bumblebee. It has the best images of animals, and we get 2 of them. We get the Explorer, which is for kids, and it's my favorite. But look at this. Look at this rabbit. And this deer. Aren't those pretty? Right here is a killdeer. And then, let's see, that's just foliage in the trees. I cut up a big page, but that was because of this one. And so I do a lot of cutting out of them. And here's another eagle on her nest. And a squirrel. And you know, I live right next to, and used to live in town, the home of the white squirrels. And if you've never seen a white squirrel, they're absolutely beautiful. Here's another little wren. And or a chickadee. But anyway, I just love this little magazine, and it's free. It's the Conservationist. And although I'm, you know, I don't hunt. Herb used to. But it's about hunting. It's not about just going out and killing for the purpose of killing. You know, it's a whole lot different. But it's a good little magazine. And they talk about our waterways and what we need to do to be conserving and are taking care of our waterways. And I'm all for that. I'm all for protecting our land. Because if we don't, we're going to lose it. We're going to get so we can't take a drink of water without it boiling it. And having a well, that's kind of scary to me. You know, that's because you don't know what's running into the water system. Then, anyway, hang on. That was my alarm going off saying I needed to take medicines. But Tom's not woke up enough yet to take them. So,
Mom, I'm here behind you.
Yes, but we're not downstairs and we don't have water and. You know, we don't have a medicine up here either, so just not going to do it right now. I'll do it in a little bit.
Do a little bit more.
Yeah. My granddaughter set that alarm, and it drives me crazy. And it drives Tom crazy. He'll be asleep and sometimes that'll go off and I mean he'll just stomp to that thing and push that snooze button.
I was trying to push the X button to get it off.
You hear him? Yeah, I was trying to hit the X button, Mom. So, anyway, we can get kind of cantankerous here, just two of us. So what you girls doing this morning? Are you working on things? Tom, Joy said hi, and why? I'm getting a delay. Yeah, and Ray said hi, and Ray said she was working. Are you working on your crafting, Hunter, or are you at work? ATCs and journals. I need to come watch some of your ATCs. I can make a journal, but I'm not very good at the ATCs. I don't know. I guess I find them fidgety. I want to slap them together real fast, but I want them to look different. Oh, okay, Ray. That's good. So you can work and enjoy listening. So. You don't do videos, Carrie Ann? Well, you know, I didn't. I'm surprised at how I took to it. I don't know why. I like chatting and I like talking. So today is just, I didn't want to be up here by myself. So I thought I'd just turn it on and have some company. And I know Tom heard me talking, so he came up to see who I was talking to. Because he's nosy like that.
I heard you,
I love you, buddy. Excuse me.
I am not nosy.
I love you, Tom. He says that. But if my phone rings, it's, who is it, Mom? Who are you talking to? Mom, what do they want? Mom, who are they? Who was that? It keeps me on my toes. I tore up that little flower or something.
Well, someone better.
Did you hear him, girls? Did you hear him? He said, well, someone better. Yep, he said, well, somebody better keep me on my toes. I do love that child. All right, Carrie Ann, thanks for coming in, honey. I'm going to be here a while. I'm going to try to get this done and today because I have a bird journal I want to work on too. And I made a cover for it. Oh gosh, I don't know how long ago now. I made a hardback cover and textured it. Let me get it over here and I'll show you it. After I turn on the light. Did that brighten things up a little bit to have a little light behind me? Here's my bird journal that I'm going to make. And so I, for the first time ever, I ordered some ephemera to go in it and some bird pages. I just absolutely could not find enough to fill it up, and I want that thing packed full. I just absolutely love the birds. And so, and I've got several friends that have been talking about a bird journal, and so I thought I'd just make one. I got into feeding the birds and stuff when Herb was sick because we were always at home. We were either home or at dialysis. And so I started feeding the birds. And of course, I fed him close enough where he could watch them from his chair. And at one time, I had so many hummingbirds that if I went out there to feed them, they would land on my shoulders. I absolutely love those little tiny birds. And they are warriors. They're not gentle birds, not really. They get gentle enough to land on you or, you know, to eat off your fingers if you're out there with them a lot. But they fight. I mean, it's something else to watch them in a battle. And they don't like to share at all. They protect their feeders. Of course, when you get that many, they can't keep them off of them. But there was fight after fight after fight. And then Herb had one little titmouse that would come to his bed. He was in the living room in a hospital bed. And that bird would come. He had two windows beside him. And he would go to one, and he'd peck on the window. And if Herb didn't answer, he would go to the next one and do it again. And he would peck on that window until Herb woke up and talked to him. Come to him every morning. And he'd say, Mama, my bird's back. And that little bird would just peep and walk across that windowsill. And I think a lot of it was he was, maybe wanting some food or whatever. But he was Herb's bird. He come to Herb. And it was the same one. It had distinct markings and did the same routine every day. So, okay, Carrie Ann. My chat's a little behind, I think, this morning. Probably this weather. It's, my messages are coming through really slow. So, but I appreciate you coming in, girls. I really do. Michelle Scott left me a message yesterday that she was sorry she'd missed it. And I love to watch her. I'm inking a book. I'm just inking this book up, putting some blue on it. See the edges? Just putting little green ink on it. Giving it a little color. But that's all I've got left to do on it, and I'll have it ready to go. So, I'm just, since I couldn't use my spritzes on it, I thought I'd just get my ink out. And I've got, I'll walk through it. And when I get it done, I figured you all wouldn't want to just sit here and want to watch me ink every page. I love to watch Michelle. She is so funny. Hello, ladies. I just love her. And Tracy Fox, she just tickles me to death. I like to watch her too. And I went into Crafty Mama's last night, and yeah, she does. She does beautiful work. And was in that chat room for a little while, and I should know her name, but I don't right offhand. My mind is not real clear yet this morning. I had to get up 2 or 3 times in the night and do some breathing treatments, and kind of made me a little bit awkward this morning. Yeah, you were there, weren't you? Shelley, is that her name? I'll remember that now. Did you do the meditation with her? That was awesome. You know, that's something I've never done before. And it was awesome. It surprised me, really, at how much it relaxed me. Of course, her voice is so soothing. I wish my voice sounded like that. But it never has. I've always had this hillbilly twang. And that's not going to change any. And when I hear myself on the phone or playback, it's funny to me because I don't hear myself in the same way. And I'm hearing my cousins. Excuse me. I'm hearing my cousins talking to me. I sound just like them. And I'm so surprised at that. I never thought it sounded like them.
Well, what are we thinking about doing my living room?
But I do. And not only that, I act like them. What, honey?
What color are we thinking about doing my living room up here?
Blue.
Doing it blue?
Mm-hmm. We're going to do it blue.
I just want to know what
you need to go down and get some breakfast.
I just want to know what color we're going to do it, Mama.
We're going to do it blue. He's asking me what color we're going to paint. Excuse me. I'm telling you, this stuff it started out as allergies. Every spring, Tom and I go through this. Starts out as allergies and then turns into bronchitis or, something else. And I've always had trouble. But it seems to be Worse today. I was pretty good yesterday. And oh, I've got me an inhaler here. Let me do an Whew, okay, that'll help. I just have an awful time with him. Tom, he a couple of years ago, he was sick for, gosh, almost 2 months with his. I mean, he was so sick, it was pitiful. And we never got him over it. And usually within a week or so, I'm okay. But we've had such a late spring that we're going from one pollen right into another just real fast. And the oaks are starting to bloom, and I live in a grove of oak trees. And of course, I never was allergic to them until later in life. And boy, I mean, that allergy hit me. And it's so thick out here that my car will be green. It will turn green with the dust on it. And it's so fine, it will filter into the car. The air conditioners pick it up, pump it through. It's just awful. I kind of like for it to rain when it gets like that, because it knocks it down and keeps it down. And Annabelle picked up a little stick that fell out of the tree, and it had some little bitty blossoms on it. She brought it in the house, and she said, "Oh, Grandma, look at this tree. It's fixing to bloom." And it was the oak flowers, which are, little long strands that are filled with pollen. I said, "Honey, that's so pretty, but you need to take it back outside. Your granny's so allergic to it, it'll kill her." So she took it back outside and laid it down, but she is an outdoor girl. She found some worms under a brick, and she put them up on top of the brick. And of course, she handled them and she played with them. And she come in the house after a while, and she said, "Gigi," she said, "there's something wrong with my worms." And I said, "What's the matter with them, honey?" And she said, "They won't move." She said, "They won't move." And I said, "Well, why aren't they moving?" And she said, "I don't know." But she said, "They won't move." And I said, "Well, did you handle them a lot?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, honey, that's the reason they're not moving. You probably hurt them." She said, "You can't hurt a worm." I said, "Well, yeah, you can." And I said, "I'll tell you what, you put them over in the dirt, and maybe they'll be all right, and they'll go back down in the ground, and they'll be okay, because that's where they live, is in the ground." She said, "Well, these were living under a rock." So, anyway, she's something else. And has a wild, wild imagination. But she come over here last night after doing that video, and she was just, I think she was still so excited about it, because she doesn't usually come over after dark. She doesn't get out. And if she's over here, she's got to go home right now. She's got to go home before it gets dark. And because that's what Mom has told her. You come home before dark. So just as soon as it starts getting dark, she's got to go, and she's got to go now. But she come over, it was almost 9 o'clock last night, and I was watching the video. And I looked at her and I said, "Honey, did you enjoy the video with your Gigi yesterday?" And she said, "Uh-huh." And I said, "Emily wants your picture." I said, "Do you want to send it to her?" And she thought about it for a minute, and I thought she was going to say no, but she she decided it'd be okay if we sent it to her. There ain't no telling what that thing cost me to post, but... But she went to school with a little girl named Emily, and I think that's why she associated so much with her, because of the name. And she was in preschool with a little girl named Emily. So, I'm not seeing a single thing from you girls. Are you talking to each other or anything? Because I'm not seeing no post, no nothing. You just busy, or just nothing to say this morning. Drinking coffee and enjoying it, huh? I don't know. It may be my chat. It was my chat. It come up as soon as I hit that button. I may have to... Aha. Well, yeah. Okay. Don't text and do that, honey. Unless you're stopped. I don't know what you hurt. Too many people being hurt lately. I don't have to do that anymore. Take kids to school. Thank God. Well, I can't say that because I still run for my kids. I'm on the list at school. If mom and dad can't come and get them, I go get them. And I asked my granddaughter if I was on the list for Peyton, my grandson, and she said no. And I said, well, they called me, and she said, they know too, Granny. You've been up here for years. I said, okay. My grandkids call me Granny. And my great-grands call me Gigi. Because when they started having them, I wasn't quite ready to be a great-grandma. It's a little too early for me to be a great-grandma. So I said, I'm not going with the great-grandma stuff. They can call me Gigi. So they do, and now, of course, the girls call me Gigi, too, because it's easier than saying Granny, but they still slip up and say Granny once in a while. It was bad enough to be Granny, but they had so many grandparents still alive that, that they'd run out of names. They'd run out of names. So, anyway, so I got to be Granny. Sometimes I wonder if I'm not kind of like Granny on the Clampets. In some of my actions. Lori's my oldest one, and she has all of my granddaughters that are married, and I've got 3 of them that are married. She's the oldest one, and she has a boy that's 9 years old, and then Annabelle. But my other granddaughters they're just like a year and a half apart, and or 2 years at the most, and that are married. And all of my grandkids have one boy and one girl. And then it was 10 years later that the kids had my youngest granddaughter. And her name is Hunter. And she's absolutely beautiful, good in sports. But she's only 13 years old. So they've still got a ways to go with her. But my boy got a divorce and remarried a woman who had a daughter that was 13 years old and in the same class as Hunter. So now I have two 13-year-olds and another 17-year-old grandson, which is kind of neat. I don't see them very often, though. They live with their father, so they don't come out very often, but beautiful kids. Beautiful kids. And I have a beautiful daughter-in-law. I absolutely love her. She's called me Mama from the almost day one, and she means it. And I'll tell you what, she's worked hard. She works in daycare, but she's going to school for teaching, and she got her degree for that, and now she's going back for her master's, and all online, all done it while she was working, and she's quite a gal. She's quite a gal. And so and then my son is a contractor. He builds houses. And he builds some beautiful ones too. He can do it. But I said he come from a long line of carpenters. Both of my grandfathers and my dad, my aunt and uncles, all of my brothers, carpenters, and craftsmen. I have a brother who's now an artist and has a flea market, but he can build some of the most beautiful furniture you've ever seen in your life. And so it's kind of in the blood. When Clint was, and Clint is my youngest son, when Clint was a year old, I've got a picture of him hammering nails at my granddad's old farmhouse. His hammering nails into the crack of the porch. And when we left there, I had to pick every one of them out, and it wasn't too fun, but oh my gosh, he had that big old hammer, take two of them, to hold it, and he'd stick that nail in the crack where it would stand up, and then he'd whack it with that hammer with two hands and push it down through there. And Annabelle looks just like her mother. I mean, the spitting image of her mother. So she was a beautiful child. She had a little pixie hair. She cut her hair off when she was little, and I had to pixie it. I mean, it was cut so bad. It was cut in the back and on the front and in the, it was just cut everywhere. Annabelle cut the top out of her hair, and we managed to just kind of trim it, and I mean, she cut it bad. She cut it down to almost the scalp, but it was back far enough that we could pull some of the hair back and kind of keep it, hidden, and didn't have to cut it. But Lori's was cut all over, so she had a pixie for quite some time, and now she's got the fullest head of hair I ever seen in my life. And beautiful hair. Well, girls, I've just about got this inked up. I don't like too much. I like making these little albums. I love making these little minis. You can just take your scrap paper and throw them together, and you've got an album. And I've been watching them do all the magazine things, and I'm kind of wanting to do a smash book or a, whatever they call those, a creative journal or you know, just do something with them. I don't get many magazines or anything, but I do get a few. And I can get them over at the flea market pretty reasonable because a lot of people bring in their magazines. And I think my brother at one time, he had 2 shelves of National Geographics. And so it's not like I can't get, you know, that kind of stuff, my hands on that kind of stuff. But I don't get the fashion magazines, the Vogue and that's the ones that amaze me at the position these women are in when they're taking their photographs. Just that's what would be fun, is that you could cut that out. And let's see, who was I watching? Amber Crafts. And she was cutting some out, and she said, oh yeah, I'm cutting that one out. She said you could put stuff on her head because she was so straight, and she had her hands outward, and she said I can just see that her hands full of teacups. Yep, she said that's got to go. You all heard about her father, didn't you? Well, she was in here yesterday. She got a call that her dad had been in a wreck. I felt so bad for her. But dadgum this chat. I'm just about to get this inked up. I've inked it pretty heavy because I've got a big old sponge I'm using. But it's what's nice about this light colored ink is they can write over it or journal over it. Or I don't think I'm going to put any stamping in it though, because it's oh, I could a little bit, I guess. I've got some grass stamp that'd be pretty in it. So it said I had 3 there for a minute. I didn't post that I was going to go live this morning. I just decided I would. I'm probably stepping on somebody else's live stream. I don't know. I didn't. There wasn't anybody doing it when I come on. But there's another live stream going on, girls. Do you know? Hi, Sybil. I know. I just jumped right in. Oh, you're home, Joy? Good. I'm so glad you come on, Sybil. Now you can hear my twang. I'm working on Melissa's journal this morning that I'm going to give her, Melissa Bishop. So I've just about got it done, other than I might do a little stamping in it. quite a few pages in this little thing. Okay, that's... Well, I'm telling you, I'm subbed to everybody. I am subbed to everybody. I'm going to have to thin some of it out, but, you know, I'm so into this. I would go and see their channel, and I just say, like, subscribe, you know, so you can go back, you know, and but and I'm still subscribing to quite a few of them that I see in the chat rooms and stuff, but I know. I just went crazy over this. I really did. It's funny how much of a passion this became for me. I just, and fast. My family is completely stunned at what I have done with it, and you know how much I enjoy it, and they're just completely. My son and daughter-in-law went to town the other day, and they were going to do an auction, and I said, well, if you find any old boxes of papers, buy them for me because I want them. And they said, why would you want old boxes of papers? And I said, because it's ephemera. I can put it in my journals. They go, oh. So they said, well, we'll look. They didn't find anything. Good morning, Cooking Mama. How are you? So anyway, they come home and they didn't find any at the auction. Good morning. What's your name, sweetheart? I'm doing pretty good, other than this darned old allergies. What is your name, sweetheart? Robin. That's a pretty name. Sybil has a channel, and Sybil needs to be on that channel because she does wonderful things. I've seen some of her stuff. I've seen some of her stuff. That is a beautiful name, Robin. Thank you for joining us. This is just the second time live, and I'm not even showing what I'm doing. All I'm doing is inking in a book, just over and over and over again. I will show you the book in a minute. I've just about got it done, other than maybe adding a little stenciling or a little stamping. I missed that. Yep, that's it. Good morning. Good morning. Dinah Shore used to sing that, didn't she? And she sang it in a movie, didn't she, or something? It was beautiful. That's something I love to do, is sing. Of course, I couldn't hit a note today for nothing, but I love to sing. I think it was Dinah Shore, but I'm not sure. It could have been... well, no, I'm trying to think of the other blonde woman that sang and danced. And I can't... I have 3 pages left, and I'm going to be done with this inking. My hands are green. I don't know how I can get it all over my fingernails on every hand. But I can. This has 3 signatures in it for a small journal. I mean, it's packed. Oops, there's my little mouse. We'll pull him off of there. I think I'll take him off that clip and glue him on that flower on the front, because I messed up the flower. Although I do have others that I could put back on there. Okay, last page. Yay! Okay, I'll show you how green I am. But wait a minute, I'm going to glue this little mouse on here. No, I'm not. If I do, I'll put it here on the front. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay. For all of you that just came in, this is my little journal that I'm making for Melissa. And I've been inking the pages today. Here's the first page. And that's my little farm girl in it. Isn't she cute? And right here on the front, I just hung that little mouse. Because I said there's never been a farm without mice. I'll guarantee you that. Because I have them all the time. Catch them all the time. And so this is what I've been doing, is putting the blue ink on it today. And just inking up these pages, because I didn't... When I found out that she was highly allergic to smoke. What was it? I didn't see what it was that you posted. Hang on, let me see if I can scroll back up. Debbie Reynolds, that's it. That's it. Yes. Okay. I had to scroll back up. I'm just learning how to do all this, so I'm... Sybil, you're fine. You do good. You do good. I'm so proud you're here. Anyway, this is my little journal, and I got all the pages inked, and yeah, except for that one that I missed. I guess I ought to put a little on it. Got the sponge right here. Okay. And in it, yesterday I made a couple little tuck spots and stuff. So this is the final journal, other than maybe putting a little ink in it. Boy, I got to rushing on that front ones. Anyway, and it's got some birds and some little animals. There's a little chipmunk with his mouth full. Can you see him? I'm not in frame. Can you see him? A little chipmunk. And then music papers. And then some more journaling paper. and some lined paper, and then just a pretty piece. And these were all scraps. Everything I put in here was scraps. And some more of that paper, and some more of it, and some more lined book paper. And like I said, I didn't try to do anything with it because I didn't think I was going to send it to her. And then I decided that I would. But so, and then there's another piece of the pretty paper. And then you go on over, and there's a little card, and it is just a little plain card. It's called Starshine. And, and then there's another little bird. And more of the music paper. And then there's another one of those that I decoupaged yesterday. Yeah, they're really cute. Those little tiny ones. Tom had several decks. And I just confiscated them. He never touched them. We've got, I've got some that have dogs on them. Let's see. Let's see what I can find here. Those are all the stars. No. And look at the little dogs. They're cute. Thank you, honey. I'm so glad you come in. Come back and join us again. And so, yeah, they're all just cute as they can be. That was the Joker. And then the rest of them are just regular playing cards. And they're a little bigger even than these. And so this is the next size down. Look at that. Okay. All right. I've got you back. Are you back? Am I back? Okay. Am I back? I had a phone call. Of course, I only have one phone. Hang on a minute. It's going to go off again. Just a minute. Now, okay. I'm trying to get this. Hi, Sybil. I made it back. Had a phone call right in the middle. So, but yeah, I could call her back. And so anyway, I'll finish up with my journal. On the end of this signature, and they're sewn in, I put a little tag on it that says hope. And I try to put one of these in all of my journals. There's so many people that I know and love that have cancer and illnesses that the ribbon represents. So yeah, that's for them. Then on the start of this one, I put this little tag and the little hello, ladybug. And then in this one, I put a big sheet, but I sewed it. And it has the word friend on the back. And then it's all about farming stuff. About cages and lawnmowers and just farming stuff. Egg crates. And I put that in a little tuck that said sweet. And then there's more journaling pages. And then another pretty page that looks like brick. And then the next little bird that I decoupaged. I loved that napkin. It was so pretty. And more journaling and a pretty little page here. And then another little bird. And he's on the back of some music sheets. Another little card. And I did put a little tuck in this one, I think. But there's lots more journaling pages. And then this pretty monarch. And then more journaling pages. More music sheets. And can you see it at all? Am I completely out of frame? I need to turn this down and do this with it laying down. And then this bird. And this is one that I had printed off. I just thought he was so pretty. And I printed it out. Okay. Can you see it now? And then more journaling pages. And I think I showed you some of this. This is the bumblebee that I cut out of that magazine I was showing you the pictures of. I mean, tell you, they have some of the prettiest images. And then more journaling paper. And more music paper. And then another little beaded tuck with just a little tiny safety pin. And these were my mother's. And I'm at the end of them. This was probably the last one I had. So I need to find some more of them. They won't be as special to me, but I love those little pins. And then I put this little sticker on it. Attitude is everything. And it's one thing you can say about Melissa. She has attitude. And I love it. I love that she has it. And then this is a grouse. And he is drumming. That's the reason why it looks swelled. They actually drum for their mates. I'm sure y'all know that, but I got to hear one. We've got one up here behind the barn, or had it last year, and I got to hear one drumming, which I had never heard him drum before. And it was amazing. It really was. Well, my eyes look bloodshot this morning. But anyway, here's more of that brick sheet. I really like that page. I like that texture on that one. And some more music paper and more journaling spots. And then another pretty bird that it's fixing to storm here. It's fixing to storm here. Kathy, Joy, you need to be my wrench. I need a wrench. Okay? All right. I don't know how to do that right now, but I'll make you one. And then the polka dot sheet next to the other bird that I decoupaged. And then more journaling pages. And I'm not going to show you all of them because they're all just the same. And then right here I have another little card with the ribbon on the top. And let's see. I think that we're at the bottom of it. And then that pretty moth. And then this pretty bird again. And another one. Like I said, I just put in here what I had. And these were just cut off scraps. And I would like to make one with you at some point. Just set out and make one with you because you just wouldn't believe how easy they are to make. And all of them are sewn in. And I sewed these in through the spine. But I've been making the covered spines, and I really like them. And then on the tag, then okay. You click on the name when you come up. Okay. It doesn't have it. It doesn't have it there. Okay. Okay. It didn't do it. It says report, remove, put user in timeout, or hide user on this channel. And I don't want to do any of that. So anyway, I put a few charms on it, and got a little flower and some old lace and a peace sign. Right here, got a little peace sign. And then a little timepiece. And then 2 more little flowers. And an owl up here on the top. So, hopefully she'll like it. Because I think I'm going to quit right there. And if she wants to decorate it anymore, she can. It's been fun to make, and I really wanted to give it to her, and I was so excited that she, that she would want it. It wouldn't let me do it that way, honey. So I've got... No, that's not what I want. Oh, I can just fix myself up pretty with that stuff. And that's just mute microphone. So, are you still hearing me? Because I may have done that. Yes, I am, honey. I think I'll have to go in the Creator Studio and do it that way. Okay. I wasn't sure whether you were hearing me because I tapped that button and it said share or mute. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't mute it. But I'll figure it out. I'll go in that Creator Studio and figure that out. So anyway, that's the end of that journal, other than tying it up. And I'm not going to spray it. I'm going to... Okay, honey. Don't work too hard. Now, you have fun today. Thank you. You're such a sweetie, Sybil. She's a sweetheart. Okay, and there it is all tied up. So, I just got to let it air out a little bit, and then I can pop it in a little box and send it off to her. But I'm kind of proud of it. I think it looks pretty good. Oh, those maple seeds will grow wherever they fall. Yeah, you're having to pull the sprouts up. Yeah. I've got a maple tree out here outside this window, in fact, that I'm sitting here in front of. Yeah, it's a lot of work, Sybil. I do that too. I pick them out of my flower beds. Morning, Anita. How are you today? Hi, Bethany. I'm glad you are. I'm a little under the weather this morning, but not too bad. Just having a little trouble with the breathing. I'm glad to see you in here, Anita. Good to see you. Honey, that is cloth. That is some cloth that I had. I'm wanting to make some out of this. This is so pretty. It's all songs. It's Don't Worry, Be Happy. You're My Sunshine. And it's so pretty. And I think I have enough that I could make a mini out of it. And I know I've got enough wallpaper to make a mini. Oh, it's a pretty piece of fabric. And that chicken fabric was really pretty. I used this and made placemats for my table downstairs. And I just I had some striped material that had these colors in it. So I took this and made just a band across the placemats. And they come out beautifully. But I didn't have but just a little bit. I can kind of go through it a little bit, honey, again. But it's, yeah, I done a lot of inking on it today. Honey, I just used, I think this was a macaroni and cheese box. Cut down. It was either that or it was one of my medicine boxes. And I make the spines. I'm saying it's macaroni and cheese because the spine looks that size. And I spray based my fabric with spray glue. I know a lot of people don't like to use them, and I really wish I hadn't on these because it kind of come through this material, which it had never done that before. But it made it a little bit glossy looking in places. But then I've also had it laying around here for a while. I think I could take a brush to it and brush it and do it, you know, get some of it off. Because it's laid here for a month or so, at least. So I'll just take a little brush and brush over that. And you can tell I've been inking. Look at that thumb. I've got a green thumb for the first time in my life, girls. It won't help me in the garden, but I've got one. I can say I've had one. Let's just get another box and we'll just make another one. Okay. I'll be right there, girls. I've moved everything. I'm looking for my papers real quick, my scrap papers. I don't know where all I put them. Because I have painty papers and tea-dyed papers and just everything under the sun up here. And somewhere I have a little box that is full. Here we go. There's a box. Let's see what else I can reach in there and grab a hold of. Okay. I found a toaster pastry box, which is a little bigger than what I wanted. And papers. Of course, I had to gather up some papers. And I don't even know what all I've got here. That's the back off of the pad. Hi, Michelle. And that's a magazine Christmas tree. Don't know if I'll be using that. There's an envelope. Oh, this is one of my stories. I want to make a journal out of this thing. I wrote this a couple of years ago. Well, it's been several years ago now. I wrote this in 2011. And hi, Michelle. Okay, honey. It wasn't too long after that my sister-in-law died. And I called it time. And it's probably one of the best things I ever wrote. Also found one of my poems. I've got 3 of these red sheets. I don't even know where those come from. And a yellow one. And they're almost like the ultimate scrapbook stack. I have no idea. I've never seen that before in my life. Somebody's brought me that and stuck it in my paper. Textured paper. Textured cardstock. And there's a piece that could go in it. And here's a piece that could go in it. And here's some more brick. And some construction paper. How about some lilacs that I painted? That could go in it. There's some dandelions. We could put those in it. Pink polka dots. And I could put in a card. Here's a couple of doilies. We might use, or filters. We might use them. And here's some sheet music. So we've got, and then I've got a pile of stuff over here. So I really probably didn't need to get this out, except I seen that colored paper and wondered what that was. Because I don't remember it. But this is not the box I wanted. Hang on, I'm going to get a different box. I want a smaller one. Gotta have a few book pages, and here's some of that paper. Oh my gosh, I've hit the mother load. Okay, that was paper. I don't, Mary, look up. Can y'all see this container? I'm going to hold this up. I'm standing right beside this. That's where my boxes are. Okay, there's a shells and cheese in that little box. I'm going to read this message real quick. Woohoo! Okay. Hi, Amber. Michelle sent me a notice, said my package she had sent my package. I'm so excited. I am so excited. Michelle, are you still in here, honey? You gonna watch for a while? I just got done showing my little mini journal that I finished. And I'm fixing to make another one. I'm going to cut it down here, though, because this and so. Well, that was crooked. So no, it's not going to be that wide. Look. Is that not bad? I'm telling you, I cannot cut a straight line, girls. Okay, I'm going to turn you down just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So you can see my mistakes and my mess. Because I got out all those cards and just threw them over here to the side. And, of course, now I need to be over here. And put my ink back together. Oh, come on. I really said I didn't mind being in here and that I didn't know if I would move back. But let me tell you, girls, I'm moving back to my other craft area. I had shelves all along one side. If I got something down, it had a place to go back. And so, yeah, I'm missing my shelves. Because now I'm just got stuff stacked up around me. And so, it's just hard to do. It's just hard to do in here. This is fine for sewing because I can keep it clean around me when I'm sewing. But it's not too good for this. Okay, let's see if we can't straighten this up a little bit. Cut this top flaps off. Okay, do you want me to do this one out of fabric or out of paper? You all decide. Because I've got lots of fabric. We can find a piece of fabric for it. I'm sure. What do you think, girls? Alrighty. We can do that. Now, I'm just making a little one. You see how tiny I've got that? I'm just going to make a mini real quick. And, okay. And that is, now, that is 2 3/4 inches wide. And I'm going to cut it down to 3 inches long. And so it's just going to be a little tiny, just a little tiny book. So, and I don't ever throw away any of the cardboards because I use those in tags and ATCs and everything else. And okay, there is our little cover with its little spine. And this will hold about 3 signatures, so we can make a lot of them. 3, maybe 4 if we didn't do them great big. But I like to do mine as big as I can get in there and fill them full. Okay. Let me find a piece of fabric for it. Okay. I found this one. That is You're a Rock Star, music star, with all the music notes. Hi, Kelly. And then this one, which is another musical print. And then I have this one. Don't worry, be happy. That's the one I want. Hi, Anita. Hi, Kelly. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is go over here and press this out so that it's nice and flat. And I'm going to spray it with my spray glue. And because I use the spray glue on it. I like the, I'll try to put that Don't Worry, Be Happy right on the front of it. And then, yeah, I think I can center that right on the front of it. Oh, yeah. And then it's, you've got, I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. Don't worry, be happy. You can grow it your own way. I just love this piece of material. I just love it. And, okay. I think I'll go down this end, though. It's a little bit wider, and I have plenty to turn under. And so I'll be right back after I get this cut. I'll come back here and spray baste it. I can cover my work area and do that. So now let me make sure I've got. No, I don't have it in there. Dadgummit. Okay. Gonna have to come back up this way. Yeah, it's got to be on this end. Okay. Okay. That looks a whole lot better, I'll tell you for sure. Okay, I'm going to use this paper right here to cover my board. I have no idea where that paper come from. I really do not. Okay. Put this on here. And I'm going to give it a light coat. No, I'm not. I'm going to give it a big coat because it's hung up on me. Quit that. Oh my God, I have glued the world together. Did you see that stick? Now I've got it. Okay. Now when you spray that, I mean, it's sticky. It's ready to go. So, now, where did I put my book? Up there. Okay. And I can see the Don't Worry, Be Happy right here. So, I'm going to, that would be the, yeah. Okay. Figure out which way to go with that. All right, I'm going to stick it down. Now, you can use any kind of glue. You don't have to use the spray glue. I like it because it sticks it fast. And it sticks it. We'll throw that down in the floor. And I'm going to trim this off. And I'm just going to trim it off. Oh, I'm going to give it a good 3/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch, something like that. But now when I get here, girls, you want to trim it about 1/8 of an inch away from your corner. And it's sticky. And another 1/8 on each side, and you want to make your tabs. It's easier to fold that way. And here we'll probably have to put a little more glue. And, okay, but it'll look like that. So, okay, we're going to start right here on this edge, and I'm going to reinforce it with a little bit of glue because I don't know how much I got, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted my stick, and I don't know how much I got right on those edges. And I could spray it again, but oh my gosh, this stuff gets so tacky. So I start with the ends. A lot of people don't, but I do. Except that I forgot to put my corners in. So, Michelle, honey, I know this is probably not anywhere near what you do. Because you're so awesome at this. You should be in here helping me. Okay, so now. Oh, well, we just go to the sides. That's where I'm at. We're going to turn these sides over and just press them down. Even. This is my big office chair, and it was falling apart, so I slip covered it. And this is the most comfortable. When it was downstairs, I sat in this chair all the time. It was my chair. The kids come to visit, I sit in the office chair. But, okay, right in here, when you're going to do these tops, you want to tuck those corners in just a little bit so that you've got a good sharp edge, and then fold your piece up. And that way you get a good square corner. Well, you're supposed to get a good square corner. I may have to work at these just a little bit. I didn't get enough glue on them for one thing. Let's try that again. Use a little more glue. Tuck those in. Tuck those edges in with your fingernails. And then pull up on them. And then you get a good edge. And at this point, you can set it down. Depends on if you're going to put a fabric inside, or if you're going to use paper on the inside. I think that we'll just go ahead and use some fabric. And then since my sewing machine here, and we got that "Don't Worry, Be Happy" right on the front. So, well, actually, girls, for me, it's on the back, but it's on the front for you. So, because my camera's turned right backwards. Oh, well. But this side's pretty, too. So, anyway, I'm going to take the rest of this fabric, because I don't have a whole lot left. Well, I do. I've got a big strip here. I made aprons out of this and sold aprons for Christmas, and they were so pretty. I'm going to cut off another little piece, and we're going to cover our... Okay, I understand, Amber. I'm praying, honey. I'm praying that everything goes well. That's painful. My son had some broken ribs, and it was painful. They were pretty. They turned out real pretty. I'm going to trim this down a little bit, and we're going to put this same fabric right in the front, or right on the inside. And then I'm going to sew around it, I think. So, okay. I'm going to go and iron it. Okay, while I was ironing it, I pressed the seams down just a little bit on it. So all I have to do is just lay it down on it and put a little glue under it. So can you all see okay what I'm doing? Or am I out of focus? In focus? So I'm going to turn this end under a little bit, and I'm going to get out this glue, the art glitter glue. And then I'm going to run a bead right around here, because I'm coming in a little bit on it. So I'm not going right to the edge. And then I'm going to go right down the center. And I'm going to turn this under, because I am going to sew that. So I'm going to flatten that out. And press it down. And put a little more glue right under there. All right. Except that I've got it upside down, I think. Yeah, I do. I've got the whole pattern upside down. So we're going to have to turn that around. It's one thing about using directional fabric. You've got to make sure that you've got it going the right way. Okay, we're going to do this again and get it on there right. Now, and there's the inside. So I'm going to turn around right here to my sewing machine. And I think that I can turn you around with me. If I get my coffee cup out of the way. And I'm just going to move you around. Can you see my sewing machine here? And I've got it set on zigzag, and I've got pink thread on it. And should we put some lace on it, girls? Because now's the time to put it on around the edges of it if we want some lace. Okay. Do you want some lace on it? You guys help me make this one. Okay. Let's see what I've got. I have this thin lace, this like this. I also have this double lace, which is really pretty. That would match it. Really, orange would be beautiful on it, or purple. I don't think I have any orange, though. Let's see what else I've got. I have this ruffled lace. Okay, you like this doubled lace? Okay. We can do that. Alrighty. First off, I'm going to sew down this inside, so we're going to have a double line of sewing around it when it gets done. And I'm on a zigzag, and I don't want it on a zigzag, so I'm going to go to a straight stitch. And this sewing machine is just one of those little $99 sewing machines, Project Runway from Walmart. And it is a workhorse. I've had 2 of them. I have wore out 2 of them. I've quilted on them. I have crafted on them. They're absolutely wonderful machines. The ones I've had anyway. I've got a big fancy quilting machine. And if I even come near it with this kind of stuff, it would just scream and run away. It'd tear it completely up. It would tear it completely up. Okay, that's our first seam around it. And I'll get that out. Okay. Now I'm going to put the lace around it. I think there's enough there to do it. Looks like it. And I'm going to come right under my seam that I made. And you can see the seam. I'm going to come right under that seam and I'm going to start on the edge. Then when I get to the side, I'm going to make a little tuck in it right there and just come right on around the side of it and put some lace down the whole, around the whole thing. Get that turned under where it'll do it. And then we'll go back a little bit right there and put it up. Okay, I'm going to make my tuck. And I just folded it over to make a tuck. Okay, put my needle down in it and turn. And of course I've missed the page, so I'm off of it, but I can get it back up here. And put it in the corner. And then kind of follow that seam right on around. And if you do it that way, don't worry about it being too tight in the corner. Sometimes they'll roll just a little bit, but you can just take a little nip in it and it'll straighten it out. Okay, and I'm going to make another one here. Make sure I catch this one. Okay. And turn. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. I had it turned under. Oh, girls. I've sewn our journal together. Hang on, I've got to take some stitches out. I had it lapped. Because I couldn't get it under my machine base. Hang on. I'm used to ripping stitches, too. Where's my little nippers? See what I did? I had to turn it over under in order to get that through my machine. And I forgot to pull it back out. So I'm going to slip my little nippers in there and just go to nipping right in that area. Yeah, get those stitches out of there. Okay, got it loose. And thankfully I had got the corners, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go forward and backwards just a little bit. Make sure I catch everything. Right on around. Now I'm going to make that little tuck. And it's like pushing it up for a little ruffle. So I'm going to push it up like that. But I'm going to make it come around this corner. And then pull this back in through. On that side. And then I'm going to make another little tuck because we're going to go down the home stretch here. Push it up in there. Make that little ruffle. Catch that stitch with my needle so that I can turn this around. Okay. Pull it up on there and dude, talk about frilly, girls. This is going to be a frilly one. Okay. Okay. It is going to be frilly. I'm going to clip it right here. Now you see how my ruffle here is tucked a little bit? Oops. Okay. All right, girls. Look how ruffly. Okay, and it on my edges now, it wants to tuck a little bit because I didn't quite have enough room to work in. And what I do is I just go in and nip the lace. I snip it. And that makes it lay down. And as you're working, it'll just start disappearing. You know, you won't see that as much. But you can just nip that. Nip the bottom one. It's just like having corners on a book. You're just going to have corners. But I wish I had gotten them a little straighter. It was a little bit hard to see that this morning. And then working with a double lace, you don't know if you're getting them both in there. Okay, but that straightened it out. You see that? So now when it comes around, and by the time we get it all decorated, you're not going to notice that. And that is lacy. That is pretty. So, there it is. Now, all we got to do now is make the signatures. And I save everything. I save everything. I save all my scraps. We'll use this fabric for our pockets. We've got enough of it to do it. And we'll make pockets out of that and have that run through the book. I've got more of this lace, so we can use that for the pockets. I've got book pages, which I just threw in the floor, but I've got book pages. I've got more craft paper like this. I've got cards that are painted that are pretty. I've got things like this. This is some of the stuff my son and his wife brought me. And I've got small envelopes. So you can just use anything you want. Anything goes on the inside. This is an envelope. Just a part of one. But it'd make good journaling spaces. And since you only need, let's see, we made it 3 inches long. So that's 6 inches across. So you only need, 6 inches of paper to make your, and actually only 5.5 to make your inserts. Because they would then be a quarter away from the edge all the way through it. So I just lay it down on my mat, and I've got a little thin spot on this side, so I'm going to go away from it and get me a pencil, and I'm going to make a mark after I get off with them. Okay, I'm going to make a mark at 5.5 inches. And I'm going to try to cut that with my scissors. And we can use this for a little belly band. That would make a little tuck spot or a belly band. Okay, that's 5.5 inches, and then we need it by 2 and what do we have? 2.5? I think that's what we had. Yes, 2.5 inches. So we need it by 2 1/4. We could do that. So that's 5.5 by 2 1/4. And since I've got a straight line up here, yes, for the first time in my life, I have a green thumb. It won't do me any good, but I've got one. I stained all that book up with green this morning. Okay. Now that said it was 2.5, but that looks a little bit small to me. Or 2 1/4. You have a purple one? I like them. I like all these colored fingers we have. Michelle, I'm wanting to do some of the using the Kool-Aid to dye papers. I've never done that. If you got pink, that's what I want. I want pink papers. So, so what flavor Kool-Aid did you use? Okay, I'm cutting down some more papers, and we're going to make our signatures here in just a minute. Okay, I've got some lined paper. Let's cut it up. I don't know why I threw that other one away instead of putting it back in the pack. Woo! That's a lot of Kool-Aid. Okay, did you do it in your sink? I yelled at you, and there was no reason for me to yell. I got to get used to this, that you guys can hear me and me talking normally, that it's, you know, that I don't... Okay. Girls, we're just going to keep building. And, ooh, look at this pretty yellow piece of material. We may have to sew that down on something. Then I'm going to take a piece of this nice textured yellow material, or paper, and I'm going to make a mark here. And I'm going to come down here and make a mark. And I'm not going to try to cut all that strip, but I'm going to get my cutter out. And hope that I can cut straight on it. Because there's no guarantee I'm going to cut it straight here. Where's my mark? Glasses. I forget they're on my head. Okay. Okay. See, that's not even. So I want 2 1/4. So I'm just going to go over here and measure 2 1/4, which would be. Then I got to get rid of that rough edge. Okay. So we're going to go to 2 1/2. I'm going to trim that off. I'm telling you, this feels like vinyl wallpaper. Okay. Where's our stack? And we should be able to get 2 out of this. And even if they're not quite the right height, when I'm making a mini, they go in. Because you can sew them in. So even though those are a little bit shorter, I'm not going to waste them. I'm going to put them in there, and I'm going to make a mini out of them. And the same way with this. This is the right size. We're going to put another piece of that in there. And then get it straight. And go to the front. Pull them all together. They'll have to be trimmed again anyway to get them to lay straight in the book. So, anyway, let's see. I should have some more paper here somewhere. Oh. I have a notion to strip that one down. Aha. Let's see what I've got here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Here we go. We've got more. It's going to be cut down a little bit, but we've got more. And there's an envelope. And I'm going to seal this envelope. If this glue will come out because it has dried. I'm sure. There we go. I'm going to seal this envelope up. And I'm going to cut it across the bottom to match this. And that's going to be a top loading pocket right there. And then these, we want them at 2 1/2. What glue am I using? Honey, I'm using art glitter glue. I just happen to have it in a peroxide bottle. And I'll tell you what happened. I ordered it online. And I thought that I had clicked on the one, I've lost my pen, for the just regular bottle. And I had clicked on the refill. So I bought the tips and got them in. And here I had that big old refill bottle. And it would not, you know, I couldn't put the lid on it. I couldn't put my tips on it. All I could do was pour out of it. And I wasn't going to waste it because it's expensive glue. I love it. It's good glue. Anyway, but you can use fabric tack. I would recommend the clear. I hate the white. Dry is clear, but I don't like it. I don't recommend it. It's hard to use. It's hard on your hands. I still like it. So, oh gosh, I got that paper small. So, we're going to have several different sizes in here. Anyway, yeah. So I had to find something to put it in. And I had frosted my hair many moons ago, long before I needed it because, you know, I'm white-headed now as I can be. But I frosted my hair, and we had bought that to put it on and then didn't use it. And that's been in my cabinet forever and a day. So I thought, what am I going to use? What am I going to do? I can't, you know, I'm going to waste this glue. The bottle's going to, you know, I'm just going to pour it out. I'm just going to waste it. And I was digging in under the bathroom cabinet, see if I had anything under there. And seen that peroxide bottle. And I think we had used it for some bleach at one time. It's about the only thing I've ever done with it. And anyway, that's the story of that bottle that I'm using. But it is art glitter glue. And it holds. It holds really well. And with very little effort. I mean, you just... Now, as you can see, my papers are not all the same size, girls. I'm not worrying about it. Because we're going to sew these. And, you know, we're going to put some stitching in it. And it's going to hold them. Because it doesn't take but 2, you know, little loops to hold this kind of a signature together. You don't have to do a really, you know, 3-stitch binding or a 4-stitch binding or whatever, because there's not that much, and there's not going to be that much tug and pull on it. So, anyway, that's the way I feel. So, I just do just a stitch over binding and, you know, stitch it. And I use a heavy thread. Now, I do that, and I use a waxed heavy-duty button thread. And I really like the way it sews. The wax makes it pull through easy. And let's cut up my paintings. See if we can't get some pretty painty papers in here. Maybe get a dandelion. Me and Annabelle call those wishes. So we got to put some wishes in here. We need some good wishes for everybody. And get 2 of them out of it. Okay, then I'm going to turn that around, and I'm going to give this piece a clip off of it, and I'm going to lay that piece right down in there too. So, yeah, I've got some lilacs here that I painted. I painted these with cotton swabs. It was so fun. The beginner watercolor technique, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. I didn't do very good, but I sure did have fun doing it. Okay, here we go. I'm going to cut this in. Cut the top of them off. And these all have to be trimmed, so I'm really not worried too bad about whether they're straight or not straight. I'll trim them up, and we'll put them together and, you know, get one in each segment. And that'll be 3, and that's 3 signatures. And let's see, we got to have a few more papers. I have some papers that I have sprayed on, or painted on, or done something to. Kids may have painted on them, I don't know. But anyway, I've got them. We're going to cut them up. And then I've got a little bit of pink spray made. So we're going to, let's see, let's move that over to about right there. And get my blade back in my cutter. And cut that off there. And then I'm going to cut these holes out of it because it is too small to leave holes in it. Now, in a regular journal, I would leave some of them. It wouldn't bother me a bit if you've got an 8.5 by 5 page or however big your journal is. I think they add some character to it to leave some of those edges and do that kind of stuff. But, alrighty, we've got that at 2 1/4. And then go to, let's see. I think I'm just going to half this in half, because if I do that, I'm going to waste some paper, and I think I'll just fold it over and give it a cut. And they may be a little bit shorter, but it'll be all right. And it is raining, Tom, and you know what? You need to bring our boxes up here, and we need to take our medicine. Because it is way past time. Okay, now I'm going to lay this down here. And I'm going to reach over here and get my pink paint. My pink spray. And I'm going to pour it into this bottle here, because you can't spray out of this one at all. Whoa! And I'm going to be daubing up pink forever. Oh, Lord, girls. I've got pink. That's the first thing will do is sop that up and use that on these papers. Because that's exactly what I was going to do with it. And so, let's get some painty papers going here. Michelle, have you ever done that with the spray ink? Sprayed them with the spray ink? Your papers? I don't know if you're still in here. I see I've got another message from you. I have made a lot of it, and I make it in a big bottle, and it lasts. You can just keep adding... you can just keep adding alcohol to it, and it'll just keep going. And did you get it up? Did you get some water up here?
Can you give me a haircut and stuff?
After a while, I will.
Because it's getting down in my ears, I think, Norma. Well, I think it's going down in my ears.
Well, I'll tell you, I've had mine in this bottle. I think I have put 4... I fill it up about half full. And not this little one. I filled it completely full. Okay, Amber, that's a good deal. So anyway, I just keep pouring ink in it, or pouring alcohol in it, and it just keeps renewing. It surprises me how much it will renew. And I had a pretty blue that did look like this, but I got the wrong color in it, and now I have a very light color purple that I don't like. But anyway, now I'm going to lay this set of this over here to dry somewhere. Good question where, but over here to dry somewhere. And kids, I'm going to have to take just a few minutes break. Yes, that's alcohol ink that I made, that I sprayed. And this little bottle that I'm using is a candy bottle. Best sprayer I have ever found. It does not leak. It mist. It goes where you put it. It's just awesome. So anyway, those are my sprayed papers now. And this is the way I make my journal papers. Because I'm upstairs and I don't have a way to bring up. I even do this with coffee. I mix my coffee up in a jar and pour it in a big spray bottle. And then I spray coffee on my papers because I don't have, I could go downstairs and dye them. But I've got too much traffic in my house to have paper out all over everywhere. It would never last. So, I'm going to lay these over here on Annabelle's crafting table. and let them dry. And we're going to start putting our signature together. I'm going to wipe my table off here. If under this mess that I've got down here in this floor, I cannot believe in 1 week I have destroyed this floor like I have. I have lace out. I've got, that's why I said I need to go back to my shelves where I can put things back up on my shelves. Okay. Get some of the crud off this board. And I'll probably spray some more of that white paper or that paper, but then I have inks that I can use too on something this small, like I did this morning, just sat and ink it up. But girls, before I get too started on this, I'm going to have to go down and give Tom his medicine and take my medicine, or he'll start having seizures on me. So I'm going to run downstairs real quick and warm my coffee up and give him his medicine, and I will be back in just a few minutes. I just have to get water, get it out of the drawer, and, make sure he takes it. So I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Come on. We gotta take medicine. And you need to eat breakfast.
I'm doing some cereal, Mom. I'm doing some cereal. Doesn't look like she came over. Yeah, guess she hasn't came in the house yet, Mom. I think she's still over there at the trailer, Mom. I think I'll send a little door first.
All right. Well, you better take the medicine. All right, that sounds good. Here. Okay. That's Tuesday. Okay. Okay. You watch TV. And I'll be. Okay. Well, you watch TV. And I'll be up here. Cat wants some more food. Cat, you better not have. Has that cat been up here this morning, Tom? Tom,
What?
was the cat up here this morning? Huh? Okay, I'm back. I forgot to warm my coffee up, but that's all right. I'll drink it cold. So, now what I'm going to start to do is divide up papers and see how many we've got. So, we know we've got 3 of the purple ones, and we want to make 3 signatures. So, I'm just going to go through and lay them together. And just as far as it'll go. And we're going to be short one of those. Let's see. Okay, we just got a short one on that one. We'll put those 2 short ones there. And this is just plain white paper. Thing on it. And they're cut short. Those might be a little too short to use. They're pretty small. How big are they? Well, they're 2 inches. They'll be all right. And we'll put 2 there and 2 there. And then I have 1 envelope. So I need to find another envelope. Hey, Sean. How you doing? Who needs me to come over and teach this? Who said that? Well, you just come on over, Sean. I told you. We only live 15 minutes apart. You just come on anytime. Well, I'm glad you're watching. I'm glad you got to come on. That's cool. That's cool. So, anyway, right now I'm just dividing up papers. I finished a journal this morning, and I had worked on it for a while. Okay, I just have 1 of these blue ones right now that I can find, so I'm going to set that aside. And I need to cut another couple of envelopes. I need to cut another piece of yellow paper. And these are scrap papers. I really do not know. Look at the edges. I really do not know where these come from. I don't. Oh, girls. I got to put my charger on. I'm about to run out of power. I thought I brought it up here with me. Hang on a minute. I got to go find the charger. Tom, is my charger down there? Is my charger loose on the desk? My charger on the desk. Charger on? Yes, please. Pretty please? I'm on my way down. My phone's dying. Okay. Oh my God, girls, it's up here in this mess. It's up here somewhere in this mess. Let's see what I've done with it. Tom's still telling me it's not down here. Okay. Where in the world have I put it? And my score tape. And my book is about to fall apart over here. Kenny. Okay. Well, girls, guess what? I'm not finding it. I am not finding it. I don't know what I've done with it. I know I had it in my hands when I come up here this morning. Or I'm pretty sure that I did. But then when I didn't see it, I thought, well, I've left it downstairs. So, I know we were right in the middle of doing this. But if y'all can stay with me for a few minutes, I will, you may go off. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. No, all the signatures do not need to match, Sean. You can just put in there whatever you got. I like to make them kind of match. And, but they don't have to be. They do not have to be. I like to just divide up. I've already cut up all these papers, so I just divide them up. Oh, I'm wanting you to. I want you to do that. I would love for you to do that. We would have a blast. We would have a blast. And I'm wanting to go over to Mount Vernon with you, too. I'd like to get in on that group over there. We've got an art group just about 7 miles down the road from us, girls. Sean's been going over there, and they've been doing some awesome work over there. And I'm love to go over there and do that. Oh, I bet they are. Well, next time you go, we'll just have to plan it. And since I'm on the way, you could stop and pick me up. Because I don't drive very often at night. I really don't. My diabetes has got my eyes all messed up anymore. So, anyway, I'm going to go and look for my journal. And I will come look for my charger. That's what I'm looking for in it, the charger. And, yeah, I'm just right off. You go down 174, Sean. And you go down 174 to Mount Vernon? Or do you go Highway 60? So, anyway, I'll go look for my charger and then I will come right back on. Okay? And, well, if you come down through Republic, you can go 174 and it'll take you into the back side of Mount Vernon, and then you can go the outer road to, you know, there by TA. That's where you turn to go down to the group, isn't it? So, anyway, I can get you there from here. So, let me go look for the charger. I will be right back. Hi, Michelle. Hey, listen, my phone is about to die. I'm going to go look for my charger real quick. If it goes off, I'm going to be right back. So, just hang on a minute, girls. I will be back. I may be sitting on it. Let me look. Okay. I've got to look everywhere because I have no idea. I'm still on up here. Okay, I found it. Let's get hooked up here. Okay. Now then, are y'all still here? We should be good to go. All right. Okay. I have all these papers here that I got from Melissa at Night I Won. So we're going to drop one of those in. Give this journal some color. And here, cut that. And give that a quick cut. Okay. That a cut. And then I brought some book pages over that are nice and grungy. I'm telling you that I have made a mess. There is no doubt about it. I have made a mess. And I'm good at it. I did find my charger. Okay, I'm going to cut these down to 2 1/4. And we're going to add a book page to each pile. And maybe I had 3 of them, so we're going to add a couple of book pages to each pile. Right over here and add another one. And then add another one there. Now we're going to find some. In fact, we can add 2 of them. Get done down there. And that one has 2. That one has 2. And that one had 2. So I guess I had enough. So I'll put that in with my other papers. I've got to show you, girls, I've got to show you, and Sean, if you're still in here, I hate to just keep saying girls, I've got to show you something that I did, and I seen someone on our group had done one, and I had one already made, for when you're making your tags. Take one of your old books, or one of your books, Joe, I'll get this over here, and fold it in like you were going to make a book thing. I just done mine in a kind of a figure 8 pattern just because I was trying to make something. And then this is a great place to put your tags while you're making them. Can you see that? Okay. And they'll just stand up there. This is full of ephemera, card pieces that I'm going to use back here. That your cutouts, you have some fussy cutting that you've done, and you know, you could go through and you could put all your fussy cutting right in there where you could see it. And it just stands down in it. See that? So that's on my desk all the time anymore. And when I make tags, that's where I put them. Oh, shoot. It is a cool thing, and it was so simple to make. It takes a while to fold a book, but you don't have to fold it fancy. I was trying to make something fancy. It didn't happen. Folding books is not my cup of tea. So, anyway, I had it folded, and it didn't look like anything, and I stuck cards in it, and I thought, oh, that didn't help it any. And then when I seen this girl had done one like that and was using it for her ATCs, I thought, I have one of those. I can do that. And so I just pulled it out and went to using it, and I just love it. Okay. We're going to turn that page out, and each one of those lilac pages, I think, is going to be the start of our signature. And we're going to fold them over just like that. Make sure everything goes down in as tight as you can get it. Just as tight as you can get it inside of it. And you can see now that our papers none of them are the right size. We know that we cut this outside paper. And we cut it at a certain length. So all of this now has to be trimmed off to be the right size. So that's why I didn't worry about trimming it. And I use my scissors because I cannot do it on this cutter. So I just use my scissors. And when you open your signature, if you've got it right, when you open your signature, your pages, and this is going to be the middle, this book piece, your pages will lay with their edges at a slight angle. And that way you know, now some of mine go in because I've got smaller papers inside of it. Now I'm not talking about those. But your pages will go at an angle across there. And that shows you that you've got them where they need to be. And they don't show beyond your paper. And if you have any that do, go in and just do another little, sometimes you have to turn them over and do a clip from the back side. And we're not going to worry about them being just exactly straight. It's a mini. Probably go to some child or some young person. But it's pretty. And it'll be pretty once we get them sewed in. So now that one is ready to sew in. Now we're going to put this one. This is going to be the outside of our signature, so I'm just going to turn it over. And again, we're going to fold it over and fold it down tight. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I keep all that kind of stuff. I've got a whole package full of cardboard pieces that come out of cookies and packages, and that's why I haven't thrown any of this away, because I'll go through this. And all the pieces that are big enough to use for like little tucks or whatever, or, little, you can take this and this painty piece and say a little piece of this pink painted stuff and put it in there, and a piece of this lace that I've got over here, and lay it together. And y'all know how to do these. And then just take a button or something to that effect. I've got some clips I could use. Or, girls, I have buttons. So I use a lot of buttons. And I usually just reach in and grab one and say, okay, that looks good. And sew it down, and you've got your little cluster made. So I don't throw those away. I put them in little envelopes and stuff. And, oh, there's something else I have to put away. Yeah. My mother gave me her buttons, which was a big tin full. I had a tin full of tin that I had started when my kids was little, because I had to have buttons all the time for their clothes. And, and new buttons, and but I didn't have a lot of antique ones. And then I bought some at the flea market. And then I was blessed that I got my cousin's when she passed away. And then a friend of mine brought me another big box. And my or my granddaughter, she wanted to sew. So they went out and this woman that my son was working for said, well, I've got just the stuff that she needs, and give her a whole sewing outfit, including antique buttons. And when she decided that she wasn't going to sew, she came to me and she said, Granny, this is her sewing machine. She said, Grandma, I'm not going to use this stuff. Do you want it? And I said, well, sis, I can teach you how to sew. And she said, I don't want to. She said, you just take it. She said, you can sew for me. So I said, okay. And so I have lots of buttons. I've used a lot of buttons. I've done a lot of mending for people and, done that stuff. All right, girls. And Sean, look here. We have 3 signatures made. We've got our signatures made, Sean. We just got them made. So now, I just need to poke a hole in the back of my book. And we can sew them in. So, I'm going to lay these here. Don't come open. Do not come open. Let me stand them in my little ATC thing. That would be a perfect place for them. And keep out the one I'm going to work on. I only put 1 envelope in it. I forgot about the envelopes. I was going to do that. Oh well, we'll make places. So, now, where is my little journal? Where is my cover? Because I was tearing through here trying to find my charger. And it slid off the, here it is, off the island onto the chair when I stopped and got my coffee this morning. Okay. Now, we know we've got 2.5 inches in here to play with. But not all our papers are 2.5 inches. My smallest ones are 2. So, I'm going to put 2 holes in my paper about 1.5 inches apart. And I don't have anything fancy. What I do have is an antique ice pick. And that's what I use. So, it's a wicked looking thing. That I'm going to line it up here. And I'm going to get my little ruler if I can find it. I can't find it, but I've got a little tape here. And I'm going to mark those spots. Right on that one. Okay. Alrighty then. Let me get a pencil. And I'm going to go right in here. This is our 2-inch mark right here. So I'm going to go right at the about 3/4 of an inch in, and about another 3/4 on the other side. And that should be pretty much centered up. Now, you don't have to have yours the same size. You can cut them any size you want. But you see my 2 little spots I made? That's where I'm going to poke. And I'm going to line my papers up. I'm going to make sure that they're down good. And then I am going to take this tool. And I usually use a book to do this on. what I do with my book that I do this on. Moving has been the worst thing. Let me get this box here. It'll work. And I'm going to shove right down through there till it goes through. And it makes a pretty good size hole, but I like it. And I'm going to line them up again. Make sure that I don't get that one out of line. I've got one paper that I'm not liking, but I'm not going to move it now. And then I'm going to do that again. I'm just going to go right down through it until it goes through. And then I'm going to take this top paper off because that's going to be my pattern for all the other papers. This is going to be my sewing pattern for all the other signatures. So I'm going to take this one, next one, and I'm going to put this paper right on top of that little book piece. Make sure they're all straight. And I'm going to lay it down. And once again, I'm going to punch right in that same hole that I punched before. And I'm going to pull it through. And then do it again. Trouble with this is I know when I hit the book, but okay. Knowing when you hit that box is a little bit hard when it's crumpling under you. Okay, there's my second one. Ready to sew. So now I get the third one out. It's a little bit smaller. We really need a few more paper in that. Oh, I forgot my pink paper. Shoot. We can't have that. We got to have some color in our journals. Let me go see if these are dry. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's get some pink pieces in it. I forgot them. Go in the floor. That's where I want all you stuff. It's down in the floor. All of this. Except for that one. Got to go on the other side. Okay. Make a little bit of room. Okay. Now I'm going to cut these papers. Look how they turned out. I really, really love the pattern it makes on them to spray them in. Okay, so now I've got that down at 2 1/4. And that looks like it's going to be about half of that paper. So now we've got 2 sets. And this last signature is a little light, so I'm going to put a few more of these in it than I am in the others. And I'm going to just stick them right back here in the back. If I cut that, I would have more than that. Let's see. I'll go back in there. You go back in. Let's do these like I did the other ones. Okay. Now, I moved my scissors in the moving. Okay. Okay, this one's got to go in here. And there's my book page. And that made that feel a whole lot different. Now, these I'm going to have to punch and then put them in, which I really don't want to do, but I probably am going to. Okay. Hopefully, I might be able to just feed my needle through them. Okay. Just going to lay them in there. All right. And we're going to punch this one. Okay. Turn that over because my box kind of collapsed on me. And get this lined up. And punch. I pick them up because, like I said, through a book, I can feel it when it hits the book. But this box is not holding up, so that's not working too good. And I tore my paper on it, which I don't like. And so I need to go find my book that I used for this, but I have no clue since I moved in this sewing room where it might be. So I'm just going to go back to this board. If it makes a hole in it, oh well. I'm making a journal. Okay. I got it through. Okay. Now we've got them all poked. That one don't look too good, but we'll see if we can't make it work. I want one of those good tools that everybody's got that does, you know, what they call it, the crocodile. Now, the good part. We've got to jab this thing because we can't sew through it. Well, I might be able to. I have made my holes through it. Just wherever they would land. Okay, let's see. Are we all still lined up? I believe we might be. Okay, let me get my thread. If I've got enough of it left. If I don't, we'll have to go to something else. Everything's falling off my shelf over here. Okay. What have I done? Okay. Okay, I can't find my thread, but what I do have is some black ribbon. So, this is what we're going to sew it with. We're going to sew it with the black ribbon, and it'll hold really well. Okay, now I need my piece of paper. And I need to make 3 sets of holes. This is going to be hard to see. In this 2-inch spine. So, we'll put that in there. And girls, this is not the way you do it. It's the way I'm doing it on this black material. You mark your holes. I don't have a white marker. If I did have, I would be using it. It's something I need to pick up. I do have, when I'm quilting, I use baby powder or my chalk. Let's see. I might have my chalk pencil up here somewhere. Let me look. It should be here. Let me get clamps. She's what I'm afraid of. I lost my hose. Okay. I'm going to clamp these together so they'll be easier to sew. And one more. Okay. Now, I'm going to try to poke holes through this material. And I'm going to line this piece of paper up with the outside of the journal. And I'm coming in about 1/4 of an inch away from the back, actually, of the journal. And I am going to put two holes down through there. And it shouldn't be hard. The only trouble is material. See, it's not hard to get through that cardboard. That's thinner cardboard. The trouble is that your material will close up. So, you know, that's the biggest problem. And you want to make sure you're straight and lined up before you make the second one. And then poke it through. And then I'm going to come up to about the middle of the signature. Not quite, because we may want to hang something off the side of it. We'll see. We're going to come up a little bit. Make sure the paper's lined up. And then I'm going to go through that again. Oh, I'm going pretty deep with that this time so that we've got a good, I've got a good hole there to see because I'm bringing lace through it. Okay, there we go. And oh, straighten up there. Don't you go sideways on me. One more time. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, now I'm going to put my spine back in place because I warped that thing pretty good. I did. Okay. Now we're going to sew them in. I'm going to find my big needle laying here. It should be right in here. It should be right in here. Maybe in this box. Oh no, if it's on this table, we're in trouble. Okay. Let's see if we can find it. Because I know I put it over here somewhere. Oh. Better get the lid back on that. And is it under this paper? Ooh, that peel mountain of paper that's all over everywhere. Oh, good Lord. Ah, there it is. I spy it. It is back there, right where I put it. Okay. I will clean this off today. All right, this is my big needle. And it's been burnt. And it's a mess. But it has a big old eye on it that you can see and poke that stuff right through it. Hey, Jane, how are you? I'm so glad to see you, honey. Okay. Now, we're just going to take these little signatures. And I'm just going to go in the center and through the back. And then back up through it. And I'm going to tie them in the center of the book. And they can be tassels on the or we could go the other way and they could be tassels on the back. Let's see. What do you say, girls? Inside or out? Outside, we can make tassels. I think I'm going to do outside. And I didn't get that any too centered. Okay. We're going to come right up through that hole. And I'm going to jab right through, and this needle will do it. I'm going to jab right through those papers that I had no holes in. And I'm going to come right up in there. Because it is a good needle. Make sure I'm not getting any of my... And that my paper's all the right direction. Yes. Okay. And then pull it through. And leave a little tail. And then we're going to go right back through them again. Okay, I'm going to pull that out a little bit so we got a little more of a tail. And there's the, there it is sewn in. And that's all I'm going to do to this one because it is, this will hold it. This heavy ribbon will hold it. I may put a little bit of glue on this page right here, right around the stitch, so that it doesn't pull through. But that's where I'm going to leave it. And now I'm going to cut it back here on the back. And I'm going to give it a tie. And pull it down tight. And I'm going to come up towards the top of the book with my... And I'm going to tie a knot. And then take those off. And I'm going to trim down these pink papers because they kind of slid around in my page because they didn't have holes in them. But there's our first signature sewn in. So, Jane, how are your hands? Jane, how are your hands? Hi, Jamie. How are you? What are you using on them, honey? What are you putting on them, Jamie? Jamie, I'm sorry, Jamie, not Jamie, but Jane. Have you ever heard of Bag Balm? Have you ever heard of Bag Balm? Have you got a farm store or anything near you? I'm telling you, Bag Balm, which they use on cows. They use it on cow udders, actually. But it's the best medicine in the world. And it will heal. I use it on my kids and have for years instead of using, it's an antibiotic salve. It will not hurt you. It's good stuff. Do you have some of it? Okay, put the second one in. Oops, I'm going the wrong way though. I gotta come in from this side. Okay. You know what I didn't do is sew. I'm not calling you a cow. Damn it. Oh, excuse me. Darn it. Michelle, I have had a great day with you being here. Thank you so much. No, I wasn't calling her a cow. Now, don't try to get me in trouble there. Love you too, honey. Thank you so much. Janie. It's not just Jane. Okay. Janie. Have you ever tried Bag Balm? Okay. Well, try it on those hands because it's awesome. I don't know how I missed that. Wow. I think I missed the center, girls. But we're going to tie it in. I got it. Janie. No, I'm glad to know that. Okay. Now we've got our second one in. That one's a little bit loose. See if I can get that back out. Oh yeah, you can see it's loose. Let's take that out. And give it a little stronger pull. Okay. Yeah, that's better. One more, girls, and we're going to have this thing created. Look at this. One more. And this little book will be done. I do wish I'd reinforced the spine just a little bit. And I'm not really liking this lace all that much. It's a little bit long. But I may trim it down to the pink size and have the double layer. But trim it down. What do you think about that, girls? Trimming the white down right underneath the pink. So there's pink and white together. It's a little bit long, isn't it? So I think I will do that just as soon as I get this other one sewn in. Okay. Now, my pattern over here is my center sheet, and it needs a little bit of help. In fact, I think that I will just stick this one in here like that. And like that. And take this and mark those holes with pencil. And that's where I'm sewing. Okay. And I hope I've got enough ribbon to get through there. So I'm going to go through the back of this book. My hair's driving me crazy. I have got to cut it. Okay, keep it out of my eyes. And through that. And let's see, I think I've got that one backwards. Maybe not. Let's see. Yes, I do. I've got the signature on here backwards, so we're going to pull it off that needle and turn it around. And find that spot. And push right down through it. Okay. Now we got it going. Okay. Come through it here. Oh, wow. It did not want to do that. Okay, making sure I've got enough tail left. And we're going to go back through. Oh my goodness. That broke him in two, didn't it? Jiminy. Missed it. Okay, let's try that again. Through there. And through there. Okay, that one's got to be retied too. Okay. Amber, what do you need to get to him, honey? We can get you, we'll have an auction for you, or we'll do something if it's money. I couldn't stand it if I couldn't get to my daddy and he is down. Okay. Now we'll have to figure out what to do with these ribbons here, but we'll figure that out in a little while. But it is sewn in. That's all 3 signatures. And our book is made. And we've got book pages and painted pages and blue pages, and it's pretty cute, isn't it? And we've actually done that in about an hour. So I'm going to trim. I don't like this white lace, so I'm going to trim it. I like the lace. I don't like the way it looks. It's too long around the book. So I'm going to go, there's a line in the center that I can see to trim it on. And I'm just going to go right down that line and trim this into. And make this lace a little shorter. More in proportion with our book, I should say. Hi, Pauline. I'm sorry, honey. I didn't see you there for a minute. I'm cutting this lace off, which I will save. I'll probably put it on this back to make a tassel. Now, the only thing that we need to do on the inside of this journal, girls, is decorate it up. And it's got so much color in it, I don't know how much it needs to be decorated, to be quite honest. But it's got a lot of color in it. It's looking better with just the pink. Okay. That right there can be my tie. Let's see. Excuse me. Let's see what kind of brads I've got here that I could put through there. Let's see, I've got a pretty square one. I think I've got 2 of those. Let me look through here real quick. I've got a little flower one. And that little flower one. Got a star. I've got this little green flower, which is quite big. And I know I have another one of those square ones in here somewhere. There's a little round one. Where is that other one? Okay, you're irritating me now. Because I want that little... Because that's the one I want, and I can't find it. Okay. So, we've got flowers. Front or back? A little purple one and a little pink one. I'm going to hook the ribbon onto the journal for closure that I cut off. So, should we put a pink brad on the front? We've got a lot of purple up here. I think that this turned out to be our front, girls. I miscued when I cut that. Which I really hate that I messed up when I was working here so hard at this. But I did. But this is going to be our front that says grow and has that real pretty flower on it. And don't worry, be happy will be on the back. And actually, I think that color would be great back here with this. So I'm going to make a little hole right here. Through that lace. And through that back. I just barely want it to go through. Okay. About like that. And we're going to poke that through there. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Come on through. Both of yous. I've got one through, but not the other one. Okay, I'm going to have to take it out and start over again. Because one of them folded up on me. Okay. Now look. Looky here. That ain't going to work. You got to stand up. I talk to inanimate objects, and I talk to myself. And I'm pretty animated when I talk to myself because I'm saying bad things, most usually. And I'm a mess, girls. I'm telling you, I'm a mess. Wow, them folded. Well, I've not ever seen one made like that, so I don't know if I can make that work or not. Let's see. Not like I'm trying to put it on. Huh. It's folded across it. Flat. Okay, we're going to try that one more time. One more time. My lace back up here. I have to make my hole a little bigger. Okay. I want this end. And it still don't want to go through. Boy, them are not going to work. They're too soft. Too soft. Okay. here's what I do in that case. I go to this sewing machine right here, and I say, sew, darn you, sew. And then I put it on a zigzag stitch, and I sew across it. Okay. There's one of them. And yes, girls, I clip my threads. I was a quilter too far long to leave threads. I've got some hanging here that are driving me crazy. I don't like them hanging. I just do not like it. A lot of people do. I just can't. It's just not me. Okay. Here you go, girls. And there is our little mini journal. Complete with the and it doesn't take long to do them. When you're making this size, and I really like these for gifts, this size. I'll show my other one that I am doing for Melissa. I decided to go ahead and finish it. And girls, those threads have got to come off. I just can't take it. So, all right. So that's what we've done today. And I like it, girls. I think it's so cute. We've got to figure out what to put. I'll put some charms on these and tame them down a little bit. And we'll look through all of our pretty papers. And we've got some nice papers in here that we come up with. This paper, I mean, that feels like wallpaper. It's heavy. It's gray on one side. And we've got those dandelions that I painted. Some pink papers, painty papers. And I just think it turned out really pretty. I like it. I've got more threads to cut. Okay. Now, what do you think we ought to do? You want to try to dress it up, or you guys want to call it a day, or what? I'm doing good, but we're 3 hours and 38 minutes in. The one thing I wish I had done is reinforce this spine. It's a little bit soft, and it would have been better overall if that had been reinforced. But the most it's going to do is give a little curve instead of being a straight back, because I didn't reinforce it. But once you get things in it and get it propped in and, work. But I do wish I had doubled the paper right there and give us a reinforced spine. And I really didn't work these papers in real fast, because I was trying to get it done. I'll show you what I can do. Yeah, I'm showing off a little bit, girls. You know how that is. And that's really no lie. I was. And I'm sorry, because I could have done it a little bit better if I hadn't been trying so hard. I do still need to tighten this up. That's the trouble with the ribbons. When you use a ribbon, you have to keep tying and keep working at them. And what I need to do is tie a square knot, and then it won't work its way out. But, bye, Sean. Come out and we'll make a steampunk one. He's been saying he's going to come out and craft with me, and I'd love that. I would just love that. He's, and he really doesn't live but about 15, 20 minutes away from me. So, okay. I'm going to pull this one out again. It keeps coming loose. And we'll pull this one out of here, and I'm going to tie a square knot on it. Okay. Come on, get a hold of you there. Okay. Now, where's my glue? Shannon? Honey, where do you live? You're in Joplin, aren't you? Have I lost my chat? Did you make one with me? How cool, Amber. I'll put my email or my my email, and you can send me a picture of it. Couple hours is not bad, honey. If we wanted to get together, we can. Especially this summer. Especially this summer, when we've got a long days, we can plan something. We'll get together and we can craft. We should. We can get, there are a lot of restaurants and stuff that we could go to and mess with, or we can just come together at somebody's house. I'd travel an hour to come and see you, or 2 hours. I sure would. And I don't get out of the house much. That's saying something. But I can also tell you, I've got a great big place to craft in. I've got 2 full rooms that we can take over, and a big long desk and 2 tables. And so if you wanted to come here, I'd be glad to host it. Okay, girls, what do you think? Do you think we ought to try to decorate the inside of it, or do you want to? I think we definitely need a little charm up here on the top. And let me see what I've got here. Let's see. These are beads my sister gave me. And I'm not a beater. I eventually will, I guess, but she just had surgery on her arms, or her hand. I've got to call her and how about that on the front? You see it? What do you think about that one, girls? Think that look good? Okay. Well, when I put this down, I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to glue it on, and so y'all can see I've got it on. And then I'm going to end the stream, and we'll take this back up tomorrow and do some things on the inside of it. I've got to figure out some way to hold that down. We may want to put some tucks in it and little pages, and I'll show you what all we can do together. Putting this kind of journal together. I love making these, and like I said, they're great little gifts. They're good little Christmas gifts or birthday gifts. I give one to my niece for her 50th birthday just the other day. You're welcome, honey. You're welcome. And anyway, we're going to put that on the front, and then when we come back in, you can't see that I've got it on there. When we come back in, or when we come back on tomorrow, we'll do a little work on the inside and put some cards and tucks and things like that, and I can get some of this mess cleaned up so that I know where I'm at and what I've got here to use, because right now I know I have some material that we can use. You're very welcome, Michelle. They're just easy to make, and you can make them out of nothing. Janie, I'm glad you came in, honey. Thank you for watching. You all have a blessed day, and I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll work on it a little bit more. Okay, if you haven't subscribed to me and you're new here, please subscribe. And I need you girls to help me real bad, because I know we're all friends in here. You need to help me figure out what I'm going to do for my 200 subs, because I'm just almost there. So, okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Love you all. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good day.